Hi, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and we are reading through the Bible using the Good News Bible. We are almost finished with the Apocrypha. Now we're on the first book of Esdras. And I say that to say this, that, when I hear people, or maybe online or somewhere, if I hear somebody say that they have read through the Bible, and then certainly if they say, I've read through the Bible several times, and then they go on, I don't believe them. Why don't I believe them? Because this is hard. I have been reading through this Bible, since 2019. 2019! I was going through chemo for breast cancer, and I thought, I'm in the bed, I can't get up. I mean, many times I can't even move. I can I can do this. I can still read through the Bible. And I started reading through the Bible. This is where since 2019. It's taken me that long to read through this. Since 2019. How many years ago is that? I'm trying to tell you, it is not easy. It takes a commitment. So when somebody says, I've read through the Bible many times, I don't believe them. And not unless they say something like I'm saying right now. It's hard. It takes a commitment. You got to stick with it. You got to do it when you don't feel like doing it. If they don't say anything like that, oh, it's so great. If they say all that, I don't believe you. That's me keeping it real. So here we go. It's the first book of Esdras. The first book of Esdras parallels the account given in Second Chronicles, chapters 35 and 36, Esdras and Nehemiah. Although there are omissions, additions, and variations in both the order and the detail, the most distinctive new material is in the debate before the emperor in chapters 3 and 4. Okay, so Josiah and the fall of Jerusalem. That's what we're going to read. Josiah celebrates the Passover. How King Josiah celebrated the Passover at Jerusalem in honor of the Lord. On the 14th day of the first month, they killed the animals for the festival. Josiah assigned the priests, dressed in their priestly robes, to serve in the temple according to the daily order. He also instructed the Levites, the temple servants. I don't know why I keep forgetting that the Levites were in charge of the temple, to purify themselves for the Lord's service, so that they could put the sacred covenant box of the Lord in the temple that King Solomon, the son of David, had built. This is a great history lesson. Josiah said to them, You must no longer carry it from place to place, but you are to serve the Lord your God and minister to his people Israel. This was their charge. Get ready by family and clan to carry out your duties according to the direction given by King David and the splendid way that they were carried out by his son King Solomon. Take your places in the temple in proper order according to your family divisions as Levites serving the Lord for the people, Israel. Kill the Passover lambs and goats and prepare the sacrifices for your fellow Israelites. Then celebrate the Passover according to the instructions that the Lord gave to Moses. Josiah gave to the people who were present 30,000 young sheep and goats, 3,000 calves. These were gifts from the royal estates to carry out the promise he had made to the people, the priests and the Levites. The officials in charge of the temple, these are the officials, also gave the priests some sheep, some calves, some sacrificial. Oh, something said go back. The officials in charge of the temple, Hilkiah, Zechariah, and Zahiel, also gave the priests 2,600 sheep, 300 calves for the sacrifices during the festival. And the army commanders, Caniah, Shemaiah, and his brother Nathel, Hashbek, Akel, and Joram contributed 5,000 sheep and 700 calves for the Levites to offer sacrifices. That's a lot of animals. Here is what happened. The priests and the Levites, dressed in their proper manner and carrying the unleavened bread, came that morning to present the offering to the Lord according to the instructions in the law of Moses. They took their positions in front of the people in order of the tribal and family divisions. The Levites roasted the Passover sacrifices, then boiled them in pots and kettles, making a pleasant smell. That's a pretty picture. Wow, that's a gorgeous picture. Then they distributed the meat to all the people. After that was done, they took meat for themselves and for the priests, the descendants of Aaron, because the priests were kept busy until night, burning the fat of the sacrifices. The guards at the temple gates and the temple singers of the Levite clan of Asaph, from Asaph, Zechariah, Edinas, who were representatives of the king, remained at the places assigned to them by King David's instructions. They did not leave. They did not need to leave their posts because the other Levites prepared the Passover for them. So, this is a long chapter. So, King Josiah had commanded everything that related to the sacrifices ordered to the Lord was done that day. The Passover festival was celebrated and the sacrifices were offered on the altar. All the people of Israel who were present at the time kept the Passover and observed the festival of unleavened bread for 7 days. Since the days of the prophet Samuel, the Passover had never been celebrated so well. None of the former kings of Israel had ever celebrated a Passover like the one celebrated by King Josiah in Jerusalem in the 8th year of his reign. It was celebrated by the priests, the Levites, and all the people of Judah and Israel. The end of Josiah's reign. The Lord was pleased with everything Josiah did, for he was a very religious man, or spiritual man. It didn't say religious if I looked it up in the Apocrypha. Let's look it up. 123, 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras 1. Oh, first Esdras 1:23. Oh, right here. 1:23. And the works of Josiah were upright before the Lord with a heart full of godliness. Yeah. Okay. So whenever you see something like that, you know it's not right. Religious, no. But the ancient records also tell the story of those who sinned and rebelled against the Most High during Josiah's reign. They sinned more than any other nation or kingdom and did things that offended the Most High so much that his judgment fell on the people of Israel. After Josiah had done all these things, the king of Egypt led an army to fight at Charchism on the Euphrates River. Josiah tried to stop him, but the king of Egypt sent Josiah this message: "The war I am fighting does not concern you, king of Judah. The Lord God did not send me to fight you. My battle is with the Euphrates River. The Lord is with me, and he is urging me on. So withdraw your troops and don't oppose the Lord." But Josiah did not go back to his chariot and withdrew. He refused to listen to what the Lord had said through the prophet Jeremiah and decided to fight. He went into battle on the plain of Megiddo, and the Egyptian commanders attacked him. King Josiah ordered his servants, "Take me off the battlefield. I'm badly hurt." So they took him out of the line of battle immediately, and he got into his second chariot and was taken back to Jerusalem. there he died and was buried in the royal tomb. Yeah, that didn't have to happen, apparently. And all the people of Judah mourned his death. The prophet Jeremiah composed a lament for King Josiah. It had become a custom in Israel for the leaders and their wives to sing this song when they mourn for him. These things are recorded in the history of the kings of Judah. I remember reading about that. Like, that is something you could probably find. Everything that Josiah did, how he gained his fame and his understanding of the law, what he did earlier, and what he was told, what he is told, well, and what is told here, is all recorded in the history of the king of Israel and Judah. Wow, that's another book, I guess. King Joash of Judah. The people of Judah chose Josiah's son Joash and made him king. Joash was 33 years old, and he ruled Judah and Jerusalem for 3 months, short time. Then the king of Israel deposed him and made the nation pay 7,500 pounds of silver, 75 pounds of gold as tribute. The king of Egypt appointed Joash's brother Jehoiakim king of Judah and Jerusalem. Jehoiakim put the leading men of the nation in prison. Then he had his brother Zarius arrested and brought back to Egypt. That reminds me of what just happened in Venezuela. He got that king, or that president got disposed, just taken out of his role. King Jehoiakim and Judah. Jehoiakim was 35 years old when he became king of Judah and Jerusalem. He sinned against the Lord. Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia invaded Judah, captured Jehoiakim, and took him to Babylonia in bronze chains. Nebuchadnezzar also carried off some of the sacred utensils from the temple and put them in his own temple in Babylon. The stories of Jehoiakim, his depravity, and the godless way he lived are recorded in the Chronicles of the King. King Jehoiakim of Judah. Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he succeeded his father. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he succeeded his father Jehoiakim as king, and he ruled in Jerusalem for 3 months and 10 days. He too sinned against the Lord. A year later, King Nebuchadnezzar had Jehoiachin taken to Babylonia as a prisoner. Nebuchadnezzar also carried off the sacred utensils from the temple. Then he made Zedekiah king of Judah and Jerusalem. King Zedekiah of Judah. Zedekiah was then 21 years old when he ruled for 11 years. He sinned against the Lord and refused to listen to the prophet Jeremiah, who spoke the word of the Lord. The fall of Jerusalem. Although King Nebuchadnezzar had forced Zedekiah to swear in the Lord's name that he would be loyal to him, Zedekiah broke his oath and rebelled against him. He stubbornly refused to obey the commands of the Lord and the God of Israel. In addition, the leaders of the people and even the chief priests did more godless and lawless things than all the corrupt heathen. They defiled the temple of the Lord, which he had made holy. The God of their ancestors had continued to send prophets to call them back from their sins because they wanted to spare them and the temple. But when the Lord spoke through the prophets, the people made fun of them and laughed. At last, the Lord became so angry with his people and their depraved ways that he ordered the kings of Babylonia to attack them. The Babylonians killed the young men of Judah all around the temple and did not spare anyone, young or old, man or woman. The Lord handed them all over to their enemies. The Babylonians carried off all the sacred utensils from the temple, the treasures chest, and the wealth of the king. They took everything away to Babylon, leaving nothing behind. They burned down the temple, broke down the city walls, set fire to its towers, and completely destroyed all its beauty. Nebuchadnezzar forced all the survivors to be led away in Babylon, where they served him and his descendants as slaves until the rise of the Persian Empire. And so, what the Lord had foretold through his prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. The land will lie desolate for 70 years to make up for the Sabbath rest that has not been observed. Okay. Well, the thing I like about this is it's like a really uh, quick, short way to go over the kings of Judah and Israel, their names, how long, how old they were, if they were good or bad, how long they ruled. Both of these pictures are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the detail. Look at the detail in this picture. Look at the detail in this picture. All of the detail. And I say it because it's not necessary. They did not have to put all the bowls there. They did not have to put two guys there. They did not have to put two horses and all this here. They did not have to put something beyond the city here. This one is beautiful too. Beautiful. And now we know what these priests were dressed like, right? We know what that looks like. We know what it looks like. We know what that. Can't find it. I never can find it when I want it. But we know what it looks like. We know these are uh, tassels or fringes. And the other day, one day I was watching. It was about um, I forgot the guy's name, but he was the one who had this variety show, and he had the Jackson Five on the variety show when black people couldn't really be on variety shows, and he would put black people on. He was quote unquote a Jew, and he would put black people on, and he didn't care what anybody said. He was gonna do it. And you notice in that it's I can't think of the name of it's on Netflix or Prime, one of them, is that the people were talking about you could see in the pictures, I mean, like Gladys Knight, the Jackson Five, they had fringes on their clothes. They had little fringes on. This is, I mean, I think about a lot of this. Like, we have always somehow known who we are. We have known who we are. I'm going to try not to use any charcoal here. Somehow I've forgotten how to color because I've got this charcoal, which just, you can color anything and they just spread it out and it makes it look okay. Okay, so far I like Esdras. Like I said, it's like the cliff notes of all of these books from the Bible. What were they carrying? Unleavened bread. Carrying unleavened bread for the people. That's how you think of like the priests of today. They're not of the line of Levi. I don't know anything about that. Oops, that's charcoal. I just like the way I do kind of like the way charcoal sounds though. Just love the way it sounds. Mm-mm. So, like I started in the beginning, reading this is great to do. It's great to do it. It's not easy to do it. It's just not easy to do this. I mean, first of all, I think one thing that stops people is you can't read the words and the names, and you're afraid you're going to mess up their names. I got over that. I mean, I did have to look up some of the names. Sometimes I do, just so I don't sound too ignorant. And sometimes I do because something is telling me it's like the names are important, And the reason they're important is because they're here. I mean, and where is your name going to be written when you're gone? What book can somebody read when you're gone and has your name in it? I think about that a lot. I think we need to think about that. What have you done that will last beyond you being here right now? What have you done? I mean, you got to do something to say you were here. Something, or else you're just like nothing. Like you just came and you went like everybody else. Why would you do that? Do something, anything for the Most High to say I was here. I'm at the 20-minute mark. I'm gonna finish coloring that. That was a long chapter, but it was a good chapter. It was a good chapter. How many chapters are in process? Not that many. Wow. Okay. First Esdras has nine, nine chapters. Okay. So that was First Esdras, chapter 1. And with that, until next time, let's try to keep it real.